Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. First drive coming up here for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have really had to cobble things together at this quarterback position. You think back to the beginning of the year, Ben Roethlisberger there, and then he goes down with the elbow injury. Enter Mason Rudolph, a combination of injury and ineffectiveness, put him on the bench, and then Devlin Hodges coming in. A lot of good with Devlin Hodges, but some mixed results as well. So we'll see what the Steelers have down the stretch here as they try to make that playoff push for the final spot in the AFC. On first down, here's Hodges. Gets this to his running back. That's Jalen Samuels. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. On third down, Hodges. And he finds McDonald. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? 3rd and long, it's Hodges. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Take it at the 37. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, Give him 15. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Ravens offense coming onto the field. There's quarterback Lamar Jackson. And you don't want to hand out awards until the season's officially over. But
MVP.
Yeah, I think the engraver's workbench is prepped and ready to go to put his name on there. NFL record for rushing yards in the season by a quarterback, passing Michael Vick in Week 15 against the Jets. If you're looking at the playoffs, what do teams need to do to slow down Lamar Jackson?
Well, what they're going to try to do is take away all of the running game. And that means you've got to take away Mark Ingram as well, his tailback, because if he gets things established.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Devin Bush in there to drop him for a loss on the play. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
Watch that in. Watch that in. That's right.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Finds a seam inside the 40. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. Fourth down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on fourth. They're running. Ingram. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence, Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on second and goal. he's going to get it running right. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
The Steeler defense proving its mettle here. And now this is 3rd and goal. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Steeler defense proving its mettle here. And now this is 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, that set up everything, and the end result, a short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense trots back out. Charles, this is a team beginning of the year. You think back, they started 1-4. And it's a string of 15 consecutive non-losing seasons. We thought that was going to be snapped. Turns out it won't be snapped. It'll go to 16 consecutive seasons without a losing record. For Mike Tomlin, is this maybe his most impressive coaching job this year?
I don't think there's any doubt about it in my mind. And I know that when you win a Super Bowl, there's nothing more impressive than that. But as you mentioned, starting 1-4, and then go back to this. Ben Roethlisberger, their starting quarterback, their franchise face, gets hurt out pretty early. Mason Rudolph, very inconsistent. Remember, they traded Joshua Dobbs in the preseason, so they turned it over to Devlin Hodges, an undrafted free agent out of Samford. That's in Birmingham, Alabama, folks. Nicknamed Duck because of the duck calling championships in his past. I think that's who they hand the ball to down the stretch and ride with Duck Devlin all the way to the playoffs if possible.
By the way, how about that grizzly beard that Ben Roethlisberger's been sporting?
How about that? Ben got a little winter growth going right there and supporting his team. And he's hoping that beard shows up in January when Pittsburgh's playing in the playoffs.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hodges here on 2nd down. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, the catch was made, put down right on the spot.
And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the 1st down yardage before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Connor. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go play action now. Hodges. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Jalen Ferguson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the gun on 3rd down, Hodges. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum, because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Here we go. 60-yard.
On 1st down, it's Connor. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They go jet sweep. Washington with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Hodges looking to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he is out of bounds here. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. As the Ravens come back out here on offense, we talked about Lamar Jackson earlier, Charles, but these Ravens, they rolled through the middle part of the season. Couple losses in September, but undefeated in October, November, and rolled that into December. They've answered every big question thus far. The wins over Seattle, New England, Houston, the Rams, the Niners, and Bills as well. Are they the favorites to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in Miami on February 2nd?
I believe they are because they are a complete team. As much as Lamar Jackson powers everything on offense, he has Marquise Hollywood Brown out wide. He can throw the ball deep too. Dependable tight ends led by Mark Andrews. Really good offensive line. Mark Ingram can run it. The defense comes at you from every imaginable angle. And if you're trying to prepare on offense for them, it is hard to do, and your quarterback gets hit a lot. And they have the best kicker in the league in Justin Tucker. That's a big formula for success when come playoff time.
So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And the third quarter starts with a run by Ingram. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On third down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Jackson, always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Ingram. And an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Offense. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They go play action here on first down. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Brings up second down at the 36-yard line.
I'm here all day. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. I'm coming.
On second down, Ingram. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
55 to Mike. Hey, I'm coming.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And this one's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From midfield now, here's Jackson being chased out left. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Watch the screen. Pass.
They'll go back to Edwards on first down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. This is Ingram. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up first and goal.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll run here with Ingram. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
Pick up the 2. Brings up second and goal at the 8-yard line. That's the end of the third.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Flushed out right. He'll run it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
They come out here in the eye. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. They'll try and run. Ingram. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Ingram. His second touchdown of the night as the Ravens push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Tucker now for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hodges. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Washington's got it. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
51.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Throwing now, Hodges on first down. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Again, Hodges. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now this throw complete to Washington. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing yet again. Here's Hodges. Complete to Washington. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 26.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Hodges on first down. Got an open man. It's Washington. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Hodges. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here.
A 29-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Jackson steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? Let's say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
So now the Steelers down 14-6, less than 90 seconds to go. Staring them in the face is the need to go 97 yards. No easy task as they come up on 1st and 10.
60 yards.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. They'll look to throw. Oh, and this is going to wind up as safety. What a gut punch. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points, making this a 2-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, they have to give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field. But guess what? This one's now just about over.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Here's Thomas. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.
Post-game report, player stats.